Hello and welcome to the show. The latest DLC pack for Forza Horizon 3 has brought us some new hypercars to play around with. The Aston Martin Vulcan, the Pagani Huayra BC and the GTA Spano are all here. However, there are plenty of other hypercars already in Horizon 3. So we decided to go for a little bit of a test, but as you can probably guess by, well, the state of these cars currently and our location, naturally it's not going to be a normal test. No, we are going to do a knockout tournament with these vehicles to see which one is going to be king of the Rainforest Rally stage. We don't really know. It's likely to be very noisy, very sideways, and incredibly dusty. So, our first of the heats. The cars have been randomly drawn to create these heats. We have got the Spano up against the Hennessy Venom. I'll be honest, the Venom is going to struggle here quite a lot. This is a tough course for the such a powerful car. The GTA, again, lots of horsepower, not quite as ludicrous amount in that as we get from the Venom. We are just waiting for the starter horn. There it is, underway. The GTA is already off into the lead. The Venom sliding quite a lot through that opening corner. Oh, I'm not very good with the drone camera, I'll be honest. I'm going to do my best to keep up with the action. Venom's actually got a good run down the back straight. Now, the course we are going for is a 2-lap race around this figure-of-8 circuit out in the depths of the rainforest. These roads not really used as much as I think they could be in this game, and it is a fantastic little road. The Venom's struggling for grip big time down this next section. Oh, the GTA has taken out a tree. Well, it's got dark all of a sudden. This might be a little bit difficult for my drone camera to see quite what's going on. The Venom is slithering his way very close to the tree right there, struggling with the grip. Oh, not quite to tree tap through there. The GTA is lagging all over the place. That's not so helpful for filming. Right, Venom has come past on the bridge, of course. Venom can make up plenty of speed, but got stuck on the rock. Yeah, there is a nasty rock on the inside of that corner that has caught many a cars out in testing. I can just spot the fire from the exhaust of the GTA through the trees. The nighttime effects are incredible on this game. There is no doubt about that. Just don't go off the edge of the course. Oh, he pulled that one up in time. If the Spanner had fallen off the road there, that would have been a tough way back for it. Yeah, visibility is rapidly decreasing at the Rainforest circuit as we are going to be rounding the final corner with not too much sideways from the GTA. Of course, everything being driven here without any traction control. It's just a run towards the line. The GTA will claim a victory. The Venom there's its headlights just going around the corner now. The Venom is going to cross in second place. Got caught out on the rock. Not a particular surprise result, and going to park out in the trees. There we go. Well done. Well parked. Well abandoned, really. Not a massively surprising result from that opening race. The Venom did keep up for a little while, but in the end, just too difficult to handle around this circuit. We are probably going to have to wait until day, because yeah, it's a little bit dark, you know, just a little bit dark out here. Well, there we go, round one, and it is the GTA that progresses. Well, after waiting for what felt like an eternity, we are here with the second heat, keen to get this underway as soon as possible so we can get through all of this in one day. LaFerrari versus McLaren P1. An interesting draw, certainly, for a heat between these two. For these races, as you can imagine, we have banned the all-wheel drive. Hypercars would be a little bit unfair to the rest of these vehicles. It's a good start from the LaFerrari, too wide almost through the opening section. McLaren looking for away, potentially past, can't make anything stick there. Oh, Ferrari's made a little bit of a mistake. Now this road is very, very narrow indeed. The Ferrari trying to make sure that it's actually on the road. Ferrari's going to end up in a tree. Oh, ran out too wide. McLaren is going to soar to an early lead, although anything can happen around this track. It is very, very easy to outbrake yourself, easy to run wide, spin the cars even if you're trying to put down too much power. I've crashed my drone. Come back, McLaren. I've struggled a little bit to keep up down here. The rest of the track I'm fairly fast on. We nearly lost a McLaren off the edge of the bridge. The Ferrari, I think the Ferrari might have ended up in a rocket turn 1 as well, trying to push that a little bit too hard to make up the time. McLaren is spitting plenty of fire, helping me a little bit with his ability to film with the drone. Well, yeah, trying to film in drone mode at night is kind of ridiculously difficult because you can't see a thing. The nighttime effects are very effective. Bloody trees, get out of the way, goddammit. And yeah, cars spitting fire is really very, very cool with the darkness, especially when you're in the middle of a forest. McLaren is sliding its way into some trees as he's rounding the final corner. So I'm trying to do nice sweeping shots, but very difficult to do when there's all sorts of trees in the way. McLaren is going to claim victory and go through this second heat. The LaFerrari is somewhere. I'm trying to listen, see if we can hear the LaFerrari. It is somewhere in the distance and out, basically. Can I see any headlights? I don't know where it's gone. Either way, the LaFerrari is out after a promising first half a lap. The Ferrari is gone, so McLaren advances to the next round. So, for heat number 3, we have got the Ford GT, the Pagani Huayra BC. Now, PI, the Ford is a relatively low PI. However, I'm not sure how much of a bearing that's going to have on these results, in all honesty, because we're doing such a stupid thing with these cars. In the little brief bit of practicing that we did, the Huayra was looking very, very quick, so it could well be the car to beat here. However, we are going to have to wait and see. It's a very, very even start as we run through that first corner. The Huayra, though, getting to that lead early on. Can the Ford GT find an answer for it? The Ford playing it very, very close to the rocks there. Now, this section of the track, one of the longest straights on the circuit, but you've really got to make sure you get the cars slowed down. Both of them having to go on the brakes a little bit. It is much closer this time out as I crash into a tree again. Oh, the Ford's gone. The Ford has binned it off the road. The Ford will recover here. Not quite as bad as we have seen from cars beforehand, but the Ford just trying to keep up with that Pagani. It's already quite a long way up the road here. As I said, these things are not easy to drive in these conditions whatsoever. The Huayra, the Huayra's rolled it off the bridge. The Ford has come flying through into the lead. He's going to run wide at turn 1 and put it in a ditch. Has got it going again, though. Well, we are slightly abusing these incredibly, incredibly expensive hypercars. The Ford just outbraking itself. The Huayra running too wide. I'm trying to do cool sweeping shots, god damn it. Yeah, the Huayra is actually not pulled quite that far ahead. The Ford is being a lot braver on the run down this back straight, and the Ford is made up some ground. It is very close, although the Ford just slid wide off of the course. Yeah. Once you fall behind, you push the car so hard to try and catch up, and that's where you make mistakes. Bye-bye, Ford. You're pretty much done for now in that one. The Huayra has rounded the final corner and is going to run up towards the finish line. Pagani had a bit of a scare. Bit of a scare indeed. Off into the scenery it goes for the Huayra. The Ford ended up in a tree and will play in the foliage as well. Pagani through to the next round. Closest heat that we have had so far. And next heat is an interesting one as well. The Ultima 1020 horsepower in a small, lightweight, almost kit car. That is a lot of power to be getting around this circuit. The Ferrari F12 TDF, again, plenty of power, but a bit more weight behind it. Not quite as much power as the Ultima. We are underway. The Ultima blasting off to an early lead. We're not quite expecting that. We were thinking the Ultima might struggle around here. Trying to use that power is going to be difficult. We're playing it very risky with the rocks there, guys. Oh, you're both playing it very risky with the trees. Almost follow each other's lines identically again with the trees. You don't want to be playing with them. The Ultima managing to stretch its legs down this back straight, although it's gone for a spin. I don't think the Ferrari could see it through all of the dust there. A lot of dust is kicked up behind these vehicles. Not necessarily the easiest of things to see. Especially when an all-black car spins out in front of you. The Ferrari is trying to make the most of its lead, in fact. Where is that Ultima? Not far behind as we now head on towards the start-finish line to complete the opening lap. Don't crash into the rock. I told you not to crash into the rock. Everyone is finding bloody rock. The Ultima's out in a ditch on the outside of turn 1. The Ferrari has got going again, but yeah, there is a rock hidden behind a bush into that first corner, and apparently no matter how many times you tell people about it, you just get that little bit greedy when you're racing with somebody trying to make up the time. The Ultima almost went soaring off into the scenery and is going to find a tree. Well, that's going to give the Ferrari, you might have to reverse it a little bit longer than that, although he has got going. The Ferrari may have got into trouble elsewhere on this lap. I'm quite surprised to see the Ultima fare so well. Yes, it made a mistake, but it quite quickly caught back up to the Ferrari early on, and the Ferrari, there we go, coming around the final corner now is going to be a bit too far back to do anything. Ultima progresses to the next round. The Ferrari coming home in second place. Off into the scenery we go with that one as well. Well, surprise result perhaps a little bit in this. Ultima will progress. So I am in the next heat, my Aston Martin Vulcan taking on a Noble. Not really sure which one, perhaps the Aston, a little bit more of the favourite here. However, we've got it in reverse, not a good start, but the Noble was very slow on the line as well. Poor start from my Aston Martin, and we've gone round. Apparently there is a bump on the outside there that I did not know about. Well, we caught that with the back of the car. I don't really know what camera view I want to be. I want to be in first person, but it is really difficult to see anything from first person around here, so I'm kind of opting to go a little bit for bonnet mode. We have run across a rock. I think the Noble may have made a little bit of a mistake at some point down here, because we have caught up quite quickly. Not going to have much time though to do anything about finding a way past. The Noble is struggling a tad on the way up this hill. I think there's too many bushes in the way, obstructing visibility for me to be able to run from first person or from bonnet view. Now, up towards the finish line. We have closed up, but don't do anything stupid down here. That's the rock that has been catching cars out. Oh, the Noble got in trouble. Exactly the same bit of terrain that caught out the Vulcan here. I'm trying to put down more power as much as I dare. The Noble running very, very wide. This is the Aston Martin's chance to close the gap. Am I going to be able to find a way past that Noble, though? Maybe not down here. We're to the outside. Can we get a better run up this hill? Oh, it's going to be close. No, I brushed the back of it, and I can't now put any power down. I've lost my momentum coming up this hill. I think the Noble's going to get it, unless he makes a mistake out of the final corner. He doesn't. It's slithering its way towards the finish line. I'm trying to put the power down. It's done it. The Noble has made it. Oh, and phased in and out of existence all at the wrong time. God, I clipped the back of it and then lost my momentum. Damn, the Vulcan's out. The Vulcan is out. A silly spin from me on the opening didn't help. I recovered, but could not find a way past. Well driven by the Noble. Unfortunately, yeah, the Aston Martin will play no more part in this race. So, for our final heat, we have got Koenigsegg Regera, the most powerful car here, up against, well, the least, the Ariel Atom, although, admittedly, it is very, very light. Both of these cars are likely to be on the relatively difficult to drive spectrum. The Atom's gone round at turn 1. I made it further before I spun. Admittedly, I did my car in reverse for a little bit, but I made it further than the Atom before I went around. It is so easily done. It is so easily done with these cars. The Regera is enjoying a nice early lead, although getting a little bit lost. The Regera's got exploring. Oh, the Regera might not be coming back from that. That's a long way off of the course. The Atom is going to come flying through to claim the lead. There is just so much power in that Regera that it is so difficult to put it down. The Atom's in a tree. The Regera's in an Atom. They've both just about made their way around the corner. Now we're going to be the battle up the hill. This is where the Vulcan lost out so badly. No, that's not a good way to go, that side of the tree, guys. It's not a sensible idea. That's the second and third car, sorry, to be claimed by the tree. The Atom is now going to be extending its lead as it runs across the bridge to start its second lap, although that's quite wide through that corner. Ditch nearly claiming the Atom. The Regera has done exactly the same thing. Regera going to have a problem? No, Regera does a bit better job of controlling it over there, but it is quite a way. In fact, there we can see the Atom in the distance is, got a pretty sizable lead in this one, although, well, you can still make mistakes. Very easy to fall off of the course. You've got to make sure you keep control of your car. I think that might be the Regera disconnected from this. Yeah, I think it was going to be too far back anyway to challenge the Atom. The fun of servers. But, yeah, the Atom is going to come through to claim victory and progress. Does surprisingly well, actually. Didn't look like too much of a handful in all of this, and then got it stuck on a rock. But there we go. Right, the Atom is through to the semi-finals. Our first of the semi-finals, McLaren P1 versus GTA Spano. Not sure which one of these two, actually, is the favourite to win this. Certainly, McLaren, the prettier of the two. The front of the GTA is very peculiar. Looks a bit better from the back, but the front is rather odd. It is absolutely neck and neck. The GTA with the wheel in the ditch. Can't make it stick around the outside. Kind of got a little bit of the echo effect going on there. I think I was close enough that time around. Oh, McLaren had to go the other side of the trees to keep that one all together. The GTA bounced it ever so slightly off the side of a tree, but isn't too badly affected. McLaren running a little bit deep into the braking zone, but again, not off the course. We round the next corner. GTA may have overshot that a little bit. Is sliding a lot more on the run up this hill. Don't end up in the tree, although it's really easy to miss that hiding behind the bush. Very sideways. Oh, it's round. The Spano has gone round, and the McLaren has got a pretty big lead, although you don't want to end up in the police car on the outside of the circuit. McLaren has just got to not make any silly mistakes for the remainder of this lap. The Spano is a long way back. I couldn't see it on that sweeping, or trying to do a little bit of a sweeping shot further back. Couldn't see the bright green car, so it does look like McLaren doesn't bin it on the next couple of corners, that the P1 is going to go and take victory. Good showing from the McLaren. Again, it was a car that we kind of put in not really knowing what to expect from it. However, it has fared very well in this race across the finish line. I think the GTA might have parked it. Yeah, McLaren will take a victory. and progress to the final. Our second of the semi-finals is on the grid, the Pagani Huayra against the Ultima. Ultima, a little bit of a surprise to have made it this far. It's going to be tough, though, against that Pagani, and it is a good start from the Huayra. The Ultima tries to go around the outside. The Ultima, though, ending up stuck in that ditch. You really got to be careful out there. The Huayra taking off to an early lead, very, very sideways around that next corner. There goes the Ultima, bloody hell. The Ultima very, very quick down the straight. But who is the bravest of the lot? Oh, the Ultima's going to lose it. Well done for not spinning that. The Ultima was all sorts of crossed up down there. Kept it pointing the right direction, though. Is now trying to chase down that Huayra. The Huayra not getting quite as far away as you might expect. And the Ultima's got the highest PI here. The Ultima is very nearly into X-Class with its huge amounts of power, very little in the way of weight. But as I said, not sure how important PI is going to be. It's all about who can control their power. And the Ultima, again, just got it stuck that little bit too much in the ditch. The Huayra is starting to run away with it, although that's very wide. Very wide, nearly ending up in the trees. Some more, well, plenty of fire really coming from the back of these cars. Don't overdo it. Down this next straight, and the Pagani does a good job of making it around the turn. The Ultima not too far behind. This might be the second closest finish to a race that we see in this event, as the Pagani is around the final corner, running up towards this finish line. The Huayra will progress to the final. The Ultima not too far behind, and the Ultima gone soaring into the scenery. Yeah, Pagani goes through. The Ultima did well to get that far, to control all of that power in such a lightweight car. However, the Ultima is out. Pagani into the final. The last of our semi-finals features the Noble up against the Aerial Atom. Again, this one here very much could go either way. The Noble did quite well to defeat my Vulcan, although I did catch it quite quickly on that final of the laps. The Atom once again gets a quick start, but he's stuck on the outside. The Noble is sideways around the entirety of the first corner, and still sideways. I mean, that's a way to defend. Just make your car take up the entirety of the track, but it can't turn as tightly as the Atom, although it's still deploying the sideways defending strategy. That's a way to do it. That is definitely a way to go. The Aerial Atom looking for a way past and finding a tree. Yep. I know that feeling. I know that feeling well, Atom. It has got a lot of work, although the Noble does struggle a little bit on this climb. It certainly hasn't been able to escape away at the front too much during this stint. I hear crashing going on behind me. Where is the Atom? There's the Atom. Right, catch up to that. Yeah, the gap isn't massive. Oh, the Noble's binned it and the Atom's binned it. They are... But who can recover their car the quickest? Who is going to get out of here the best? The starter has come to be a rescue vehicle. Wow. Well done, chaps. Well done indeed. We've got the Atoms out first. The Atom has been freed, although I think we are probably... Well, our recovery vehicle... our recovery vehicle has got wedged. The Crown Vic has also got wedged. No, I think the Crown Vic might be able to get going from down there. Oh, the Noble is just about free. There we go. The Noble is out. I think we might have to go for a little bit of a restart over there. Now, everyone has been told about the terrible, terrible rock at turn 1 that keeps catching everybody out. Look, it's hidden behind the bushes here. It has claimed many victims throughout the course of this race. We're going again, basically. for the sake of fairness, seeing as both cars required being rescued. A great start from the Atom, although out in the ditch is going to go round, gets slightly saved by the Noble. The Noble is now managing to make up a nice early lead. The Atom, though, well, we saw it was quick. We've seen that the Atom is actually surprisingly fast out here, and it's got plenty of race to go to try and make that distance up, as long as it doesn't make any mistakes. Of course, the same could be said for the Noble. As we start heading up the hill, the Atom is already right back there. You know, I'm thinking the Atom, a little bit of the dark horse in this event, going into, if it can overcome the Noble, going into the final, because that's made up a big gap with the Noble not making any sort of big noticeable mistakes. Now, guys, don't crash into the rock, please. Good work. You've both crashed into the ditch, but there we go. Now the Noble's managed to spin. There's a lack of communication going on right there. Well, yeah. Unfortunate for the Atom, very much got caught. I think the Noble was trying to get out of the way, but they both were trying to go the same way. The Noble the wrong side of the trees, but already lost a big margin to the Atom. The Atom is so fast accelerating. It really does do an incredible job of putting its power down as we are coming up the hill for the final time. The Noble not so far back that if the Atom has a problem, like crashing into that tree, for example. However, it has got a fair way to do to overcome, and it is too far back over there. The Atom is... Oh, I'm trying to weave my way through the trees. The Atom... Oh! The Atom's binned it! The Atom's fallen off the bridge! The Noble is going to claim victory! The Atom is done for. All of that work! All of that work! An incredible comeback from the Atom, and it tumbled off the bridge at the end. Well, the Noble will progress to the final with the Atom, yeah, making a mistake, and now we have a rock crawling session going on with Hypercars and a Ford Crown Vic. Well, that makes for an interesting final. So here we have our finalist, the Huayra BC. At least one of the new DLC cars made it through to this stage. The McLaren P1 and a very, very lucky Noble. But that's the way motorsport goes, you know? That's the way it goes indeed. Maybe the Noble can squeak its way to a victory here. I would be putting my money on the Huayra, but we shall wait and see as we get going. It is... Oh, the Huayra's in trouble. The Huayra is immediately in trouble. Caught on the rock. Has got a lot of work to do, although made easier by the McLaren P1 going for a tumble. It is the Noble. The mighty Noble is in a rock as well. Well, that's a good start. You had an opportunity there. You had an opportunity while the Huayra got a bit squished against the rock at the inside of turn 1 to make a break for it, and you didn't. There comes the Noble. The P1 is miles back somewhere in the distance. The Huayra, here it is, climbing up the hill, although it did look like he ran wide. Noble is not that far behind. Come on, come on. I'm finding myself cheering for the Noble now. I do think the Huayra is perhaps the best suited, surprisingly, of this lot here. However, kind of want the Noble to win, but there we go. We run in towards the first corner, and the Huayra's hit the rock. We even have the starting car parked there to try and encourage you to miss it, and the Noble's hit the rock. The P1 hasn't, but is going to end up in the ditch and not quite spun around again. The Huayra... Oh, it's started to rain now. That's going to make things interesting for these already incredibly difficult to drive cars. The Huayra, though, is running away with this one at the front. Of course, got to make sure you don't make any mistakes in these final few corners, especially with the rain coming down. It will make it just that little bit slipperier. All of the aerodynamic flaps working overtime. Not really quite sure what to be doing at this stage. I don't quite know what's going on with the front ones, but there we go. The Huayra has now just got the run to the line. Don't throw it in the water. Well done, the Pagani will claim victory here. Who is going to come round in second place? That looks like the P1 is going to take second, and the Noble couldn't quite ride his luck any further. There it is in the distance and sliding across the line and knocking the starting car into the water, but there we go. The Noble claiming third. The McLaren's trying to go to the rescue of the Evo and has now got stuck as well. Well done, guys. Either way, victory will go to the Huayra in this one. So, if you want a hypercar to go racing on an incredibly nasty rally stage, we would recommend the Pagani Huayra. There's some really useful, important advice. They managed to rescue the McLaren, and now we are going to have a session of water donuts with second and third place cars and Crown Vic in the background. Well, there we go. That is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.